we start asking why love feels so painful, most of us begin with the wrong question. We ask, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just stop caring so much? Why do I stay when I know it hurts? Why do I disappear to keep the peace? But the truth is, it was never about what's wrong with us. It's about what happened to us. Many of us grew up in homes where love and safety didn't always live in the same room. Maybe no one shouted or hit, but something quieter happened. Our feelings went unseen. Our sadness, our anger, our joy, too loud, too inconvenient, too much. We learned to tuck them away, to smile instead. That's emotional neglect, not the presence of cruelty, but the absence of attunement. The absence of someone saying, I see you. Your feelings make sense. Childhood trauma doesn't always look like chaos. Sometimes it looks like calm that costs us our authenticity. It's what happens inside us when we have to trade truth for belonging. When we learn that love means hiding parts of ourselves to stay connected. That's not weakness, that's adaptation. Our nervous systems, our hearts did exactly what they had to do to keep us safe. Those patterns, the people-pleasing, the over-functioning, the constant scanning for others' moods, were once our brilliance. They kept us from being hurt, from being left, from being shamed. But what saved us then is what hurts us now. Those same adaptations, so intelligent at the time, start to misfire in adulthood. We keep overgiving in places where we deserve to receive. We keep reading every room instead of reading our own needs. And yet when we look with compassion, we see how beautiful that survival really was. Every coping mechanism was an act of love. A younger self trying to protect us the only way they knew how. There's no shame in that. There's just the slow, courageous work of noticing how those old strategies live on inside us, even when the danger is gone. So we start here, together, not fixing, not blaming, just understanding. Because when we shift from what's wrong with me to what happened to me, something softens. We stop fighting ourselves, and that's the beginning of healing. She met him at a coffee shop, a quiet man with kind eyes who rarely said much about himself. That silence drew her in. It felt safe somehow, familiar. He listened well, nodded often, and never asked too many questions. When he smiled, it was small and private, like a secret he might let her into someday. At first, she loved the stillness between them. It felt peaceful. She told her friends she'd finally found someone who wasn't too much. But slowly, that quiet began to ache. Texts went unanswered for hours. Conversations skimmed the surface. When she tried to share something tender, he changed the subject or offered logic instead of warmth. She told herself not to be needy, that he just needed space. She started shrinking without noticing, pausing before she spoke, choosing words that wouldn't scare him off. When he grew distant, she tried harder, making plans, writing thoughtful notes, cooking his favorite meals. Every time he pulled away, she reached further. It was a dance she knew by heart, the pursuit and the waiting, the hope and the ache. One night, after another quiet dinner where her words seemed to vanish in the air between them, she excused herself and cried in the bathroom. Not because he'd done anything cruel, but because she realized he never truly saw her. He looked at her face, but not into it, and yet she couldn't let go. His distance pulled at something deeper than desire. It touched a wound she couldn't name. She remembered being a little girl, sitting on the edge of her mother's bed, telling a story about her day. Her mother smiled but didn't look up from the newspaper. "That's nice, sweetheart," she'd say, voice warm but far away. The girl learned early that love didn't always mean being felt, so she stopped expecting resonance. She learned to settle for proximity. Now, as an adult, she kept choosing partners who gave her that same familiar ache, the quiet presence that left her unseen but safe from rejection. It wasn't conscious, it was memory in motion. A body remembering the rules of love. It was taught long before words. 3 things were at play. First, when a child's emotions go unnoticed, the body learns that expression risks disconnection, so we grow up equating safety with silence. Second, when care is inconsistent, attention becomes a reward we chase. Unpredictability starts to feel like love. Third, when our early needs are unseen, we internalize invisibility itself as the price of closeness, believing we must earn presence by disappearing. But something in her began to stir, a quiet, growing awareness that maybe what she'd called love was really longing, wearing an old disguise, that the ache she kept mistaking for connection might just be her nervous system searching for home. And perhaps one day soon, she'd stop chasing those distant eyes and start learning how to see herself. He wakes before the alarm. The glow of his phone is the first light he sees. Emails, headlines, messages, each swipe a small jolt of purpose. The day starts before his mind can catch up. Coffee, shower, deadlines, meetings. He moves like someone being chased, though no one's behind him. To everyone else, he looks solid, driven, reliable, the one who never forgets a detail, the one who's doing great. But there's a quiet edge to his efficiency, a hum just beneath the skin. When the day ends, he can't quite stop. He opens his laptop again or scrolls through feeds until the glow of the screen feels like company. Some nights it's a drink, not enough to raise concern, just enough to smooth the noise in his chest. He tells himself he's fine, everyone's busy, everyone needs to unwind. But the truth slips through in the small moments, when the meeting ends and silence fills the room, when he comes home to a space that smells like nothing, when he realizes he can't remember the last time he felt joy without needing to earn it first. He doesn't know that his body is working overtime to keep him safe from feelings that once had nowhere to go. As a child, he learned to stay composed, to never burden anyone with his fears. Maybe his parents praised strength, not softness. Maybe they were too overwhelmed themselves to notice his quiet distress. He learned that to be loved, he had to be good, and to be good, he had to stay in control. So now, the work, the scrolling, the substances, they're not evidence of weakness. They're strategies of survival. They keep the deeper ache at bay, the loneliness that once felt unbearable, the shame of not being enough, the terror of slowing down and meeting himself. The addiction isn't the problem, it's the solution that's outlived its usefulness. When we look with compassion, we see the brilliance in it. The nervous system found ways to protect him from pain too big to hold alone. What looks like avoidance is really self-preservation. The question isn't why the addiction, but why the pain? What hurt is he protecting himself from feeling? What emptiness is he still trying to fill with motion? And maybe that's where healing begins, not with force or shame, but with gentle curiosity, with two small questions whispered in the quiet moments. What am I running from right now? And what part of me still believes I have to? Imagine your body as a house with a smoke alarm built into every room. That alarm's job is to keep you safe, to warn you of danger, even the faintest trace of it. But here's the thing, once it's been triggered too many times, it starts to go off at the smallest hint of smoke. Burnt toast, steam from the shower, a raised voice that isn't even directed at you. Your body doesn't know it's the past echoing. It just knows it's time to protect you. This is what we mean when we say the body remembers what the mind forgets. Not every wound becomes a memory you can replay. Some experiences live below words, in your muscles, your breath, your gut. They're stored as patterns of protection. Your mind might say, that was a long time ago, but your body whispers, we're still not safe. Think of a moment when someone raises their voice and your chest tightens before you even think. Or when a text goes unanswered and suddenly your stomach drops, your heart races, your thoughts spiral. On the surface, it makes no sense. You know you're fine. You know they're probably busy. But your body doesn't live in logic. It lives in memory. Somewhere deep inside, that old alarm recognizes the feeling of disconnection or danger and sounds the alert. There's nothing weak or broken about that. It's evidence of a nervous system that once had to stay alert to survive. Your body learned how to keep you safe long before you had words to explain why you needed safety. That's not pathology, that's intelligence. The hopeful part is this: smoke alarms can be recalibrated. When we begin to notice these reactions with curiosity instead of judgment, something shifts. We can put a gentle hand to the chest and say, thank you for trying to protect me. We can breathe a little deeper, letting the body learn that this moment is not that moment. Over time, awareness becomes safety. The body starts to trust that it no longer needs to live on high alert. And in that trust, something tender happens. We stop living as if the past is still happening. We begin to inhabit the present, one slow, steady breath at a time. We begin gently, No pressure to fix, only to notice. Healing starts with awareness, and awareness starts with slowing down just enough to see what's already here. One simple step is an awareness journal. Nothing elaborate, just a few lines each day. What happened? When did I feel off? Who was I with? Over time, patterns begin to appear. You might see that certain moments, voices, or silences stir something inside. This isn't to analyze yourself, it's to become a compassionate observer of your own nervous system. Awareness loosens shame's grip. When those moments arise, try asking yourself a few soft questions. What am I feeling right now? In my body, not in my thoughts. What does this remind me of, even faintly? What might this feeling be trying to protect me from? These questions aren't meant to dig or force memories, they simply open a window for curiosity. Compassionate inquiry helps turn triggers into teachers, showing us where the past still tugs at the present. Then practice a somatic pause, a way to bring the body back to now. It could be one slow breath, a gentle stretch, or feeling your feet on the ground and naming what you see: chair, window, light. This simple orienting tells your nervous system, we're safe in this moment. Over time, the body begins to trust that it doesn't have to stay braced for danger. Choose one small boundary to practice this week, something that protects your energy without punishment or withdrawal. Maybe it's saying, I need a minute before I respond, or closing your laptop at a set time, or leaving a conversation that feels draining. A boundary isn't a wall, it's a way of staying connected to yourself while staying connected to others. Each one teaches your body that your needs are real and worth honoring. And finally, find one safe connection. A friend who listens without fixing, a support group where stories sound like yours, or a therapist who can hold space for your process. Healing happens in relationship because the wounds we carry were formed in relationship. When someone can stay with you as you stay with yourself, the nervous system learns a new story. Connection can be safe. Each of these steps, awareness, inquiry, grounding, boundaries, connection, works together like gentle rewiring. They don't erase pain, but they give it a place to rest. If at any point this work feels overwhelming, or memories become too heavy to hold alone, reaching out for professional support is a wise and caring step. No one heals in isolation, and asking for help is not weakness, it's the beginning of relief. Both stories, the one who kept loving until she vanished, and the one who kept working till he went numb, were never about failure. They were about roots that grew in hard soil, doing whatever they had to do to survive. When we bring awareness, breath, boundaries, and safe connection to those same roots, something begins to shift. It's not fast, not dramatic. It's more like light seeping upward through the cracks. Faint at first, but steady. The soil doesn't disappear, it softens. Change happens slowly, at the pace of safety. Some days, the only victory is noticing you pause before reacting, or that you offered yourself kindness where you once offered shame. That's enough. Each tiny win is light finding its way through, proof that the same roots that once protected you are now learning to let you grow. Take a breath right here, and let yourself feel how far you've come just by listening. Healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before you had to protect yourself. This week, try one small experiment. When you feel that familiar pull to disappear, whether into work, a screen, or silence, pause. Place a hand on your chest, feel the warmth there, and whisper, I'm still here. Don't try to change the feeling, just stay with yourself for one full breath longer than usual. That single breath is a seed of safety, teaching your body that presence no longer means danger. Bit by bit, that's how we reclaim our lives, not through force, but through tenderness repeated.